So what? So what's up, guys? This is Primetime 2, and I'm doing a new video today. I was sitting down thinking, what games have I played in the past, and I thought to myself, let me make a list of the games I played in the past for the PlayStation 1 that I thought were pretty good. And some of these games are not good to everybody. They're specific to me, but I know a lot of people have had experience with them, and they started new series that we still play to this day. Some of them are still ongoing, some of them have just stopped for a little bit, and some of them will probably just continue to go on into the future until they just stop running out of ideas, or they just don't get no more money from them. The first one that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to call this the PlayStation 1 series, and there's 18 games, I think 16 games, and they're all PlayStation 1 games. And the first game that I'm talking about is Medieval. Now, I never played a Medieval game on the PlayStation 1 per se, but Medieval is an awesome game. I beat it. I found every secret in the game. I know there's a Medieval 2. I know there's a Medieval for the PSP. But this game, oh my god, they need to make a Medieval 3 for the PlayStation 3 or for the next PlayStation 4. I would buy a console just for that, but or for the PlayStation Vita, because I have a Vita as well. But Medieval is an awesome game. It has this places where the game gets very difficult, so I wouldn't say the game is perfect, but it has its technical difficulties, sort of say, where you fall in little edges of the map and then you just fall in and you die, which is not fair to the player. But besides those things, from the weapons to the magic to the character design and the level design and to the length of the game, it's awesome. I beat the game. I highly recommend it if you have a PlayStation Vita or PS1 or even a PlayStation 3, because you can buy it. It's an awesome game, and I highly recommend it. The next game that I'm going to talk about that I think you guys should check out if you're a wrestling fan. I've always been a wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan since forever. Is the WWF SmackDown. It used to be a WWF World Wrestling Federation until the Wildlife World Federation sued them for the WWF usage, and they lost. In turn, why World Wrestling Entertainment is what it is today. Anyway, for that little tidbit, you're welcome. WWF SmackDown was the first game that started the whole SmackDown versus Raw. That turned into WWE 11, 12, 13, and WWE 14 will probably be the next game that will be coming out next year, which I'll probably be getting. WWF SmackDown is a very good game. It started off very arcadey, very fast. It was more like the Legends WWE WrestleMania, the game, for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 that many people did not like. I liked it. I'm probably going to pick it up and buy it again for my PlayStation 3, because I bought it for my Xbox 360, but I didn't finish it. But the game is good. I like the graphics. I like, for its time, the graphics can still hold up today. If they would have ported over, allow me to buy it so I can play it on a freaking PlayStation Vita, which they don't allow. A lot of these games that you mentioned here should be available on the PlayStation Store, and a lot of them are not. I don't know why. The next one up is WWF SmackDown 2 Know Your Role, which is similar to WWF SmackDown, but it's a sequel. And in this one, you could use chairs, ladders, tables, more moves, create a wrestler, a whole season mode with co-op, I believe, and branching storylines and everything. It was just awesome. And it had improved graphics, and you could go backstage and stuff like that. Everybody loved that. People would still hope. And a couple of games like Here Comes the Pain and I believe Know Your Role let you go backstage, but the current WWE games don't allow you to go from the ring to backstage to other backstage areas like these games. the next game up is Spyro the Dragon. Now, I haven't played Spyro the Dragon in a long time, and I loved the game. There were some parts of the game that I didn't like that were kind of, I would say, kind of not fair to the player. Like where you fly with the dragon, and it's like a flying section, kind of like Panzer Dragoon, except you're not shooting things, you're just flying, controlling with the controller, and you have to collect all these things. Everything else in the game was awesome. I love collectathons like Super Mario Brothers, stuff like that, Lego City, Lego games. So that's just my type of game. So Spyro the Dragon, I highly recommend it if you have a PlayStation 1, because I don't even think it's available in the PlayStation Store. Another game, I think it's pronounced Klonoa, and it is a good game. I played it once or twice, I believe, and I played it on the emulator. I never owned this game, so, and I believe it goes for a lot of money on eBay because I've seen it. I've never owned a PlayStation 1 since a long time ago, but this game is on everybody's wish list of wanting to have this game, or they played it, or they already played it, or they played it on the PlayStation 2, or they played other versions of it, because I believe it also came out on the Wii. I think on the PS2 was the main one, and I think the Wii had a version of it. But the game is pretty good. It's like a collectathon, and you use your ears to attack and stuff like that. And what I like about it, it reminds me of Toomba in the way you go about in the level design, and also the character sprites and everything. So that's why I like the game. Another game that I think you guys should check out is Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain. In this game you play a vampire, I believe. I never finished the game. I think I played about an hour of it, and I got lost, and I never played it. Remember, I played this back when I was a kid. Now I'm a grown man. If I wanted to, I could play these games and probably beat them, but I'm not that much into these kind of games. I could play them. I just choose not to. But Soul Reaver is a great game. I've seen gameplay videos and stuff, and from the attacks, it was ahead of its time. Another one is Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider kind of reminds me of an old school Uncharted, from the guns, but I say it's more better than Uncharted, because Uncharted, I've never played an Uncharted game except Uncharted Golden Abyss for the PlayStation Vita, which I beat completely. I beat the story 3 times, and from what I played in the game, they give you so much ammo and bullets, and it's too easy. Even on the hardest difficulty, I beat it. The only part of the game that was hard in Golden Abyss was where you had to swipe, because it's a touch screen boss fight, and that was difficult. That was it, because if you didn't swipe in the right amount of time, you were dead. In hard difficulty, and the other difficulties it was easy. So Tomb Raider is, when I played it, I remember you had to conserve ammo, and you were not given that much ammo. And when you came across bears and wolves in that game, shit was going to go down, because you better watch your ass, because you're going to end up dead. So that's what I got to say about Tomb Raider. It's a great game. So I'm really looking forward to the new Tomb Raider. I don't know if I should pick it up. Between that and God of War of Ascension, and God of War Ascension is going a different direction, which I do not like. It's between Tomb Raider, God of War Ascension, and Ni no Kuni, which I might pick up on the side from either one of those other games. Which looks like I love the character art in that Ni no Kuni game from the PlayStation 3. It's a PlayStation 3 exclusive. Anyway, let me stop getting off topic. The 7th game that I want to talk about, of course, is, I couldn't make this list without putting this list here, because in the comment section somebody would have said, where's Final Fantasy 7? And Final Fantasy 7 is the 7th game. And I'm going to say it right now, Final Fantasy 7 I think is very overrated. I played Final Fantasy 7 on the PlayStation 1, of course, and I got to the final boss. I could never beat him. I don't know if I suck or I just wasn't doing it right. But let me say what I think about the game. A lot of customizations, a lot of eons, summons, whatever you call those things that you call upon to help you fight in battle. A lot of character, deep stuff. You know, when the girl Eri dies, Arif dies, it's very sad and moving. I know everybody still gets sad about that, and she was brought back in Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, the Final Fantasy VII movie that I saw. So Final Fantasy VII is a great game, and I highly think that people who are into RPGs should at least give it a go, but I'm going to say it's not an easy game. I had a hard time with it, and a lot of people probably will, and they probably would agree with me that most of the Final Fantasy games are very difficult, and you got to put a lot of time into grinding, which I'm not a fan of grinding. Sometimes I am, like in the Paper Mario games, but not in certain games like Final Fantasy where you gotta grind. I grinded in Final Fantasy X, and I love that game. Can't wait till the PlayStation Vita version comes out because I'm getting it. But Final Fantasy VII is a game that I had a hard time with at the end, and I just gave up. Never touched it again. The next game on my list is a game that people wish Capcom would stick to the way that they always made their games, as far as this game's concerned, and that is Resident Evil. Capcom has gone off the deep end with their Resident Evil games. After Resident Evil 4, Capcom came with the shit end of the stick they gave to the fans. They gave us Resident Evil 5. Now, I've only played an hour of Resident Evil 5. Not even an hour, I think 30 minutes. I've only got to the part where you face this chainsaw dude and you gotta run away from it. And then you fight some crab-looking thing. And then there's alligators and all this shit. Anyway, the game, Resident Evil 5, I hated the co-op aspect of the game, having to watch somebody's back. I like being my own man. But besides that, the game felt somewhat like Resident Evil, but it didn't feel like it was Resident Evil anymore. Resident Evil 5 I'm talking about. Then I hear talking about Resident Evil Raccoon City, which I have for the PlayStation 3, and I haven't touched because I keep listening to what people are saying, that it's a crappy game, and I told my brother it's a crappy game. I didn't buy it, he bought it. He just gave me it and the PlayStation 3 for free. But I'm really looking forward to playing that game. But Resident Evil for the PlayStation revolutionized survival horror. It's one of the greatest survival horror games. It's great. It has great puzzles, great characters, great monsters, zombies, zombie dogs, everything you can want. Guns. I think you can even get unlimited ammo in one of the guns or rocket launcher when you finish the game. So yeah, Resident Evil. Resident Evil 6 is not Resident Evil anymore. It's Call of Duty Resident Evil. And Resident Evil Revelations, if you guys never played it, it's coming to the consoles from what rumors are saying. It's still Resident Evil. I played it. I didn't beat it because the final boss was pretty difficult, but it's still Resident Evil. It's just like playing Resident Evil 4, but with these slime creatures, and the enemies in Resident Evil Revelations are weird. And the 3D on it was pretty good. It didn't hurt my eyes. The graphics were insane though. The next game up is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I played this game to death. I also played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 and 3. I believe that all three were on the PS1, and they were great games, and I highly recommend them for anybody who likes to try new games that they never thought they liked. Some of the songs from that game are still stuck in my head, like Superman. That's just one of them I can think about on the top of my head. But the game is just awesome. It just has great songs, great moves, great characters, a lot to pick from, customizations for the skateboard. I think you can create a character as well in some of the part 2 or 3, and you can unlock a lot of different maps and stuff. It's a real good game. The next game I played for about an hour. but a lot of people like it, so I had to put it on this list. It's Silent Hill. And Silent Hill is a game where you go looking for someone who's missing most of them. And the town is like very foggy and stuff, and I guess it revolutionized the PlayStation 1 era with the graphics and stuff that it had at the time. And I think that you guys should check it out. I'm just not that much into Silent Hill. I played the one on the Xbox and I got totally lost. And I'm not one of those type of gamers that likes looking at walkthroughs for the whole game. If I play for 10 minutes and I get lost, that's not a good thing for me. So I don't play that kind of game. So I get either keep it and just let it sit on my shelf, or I just don't play it. So that's what happened with Silent Hill. And I believe it was Silent Hill 2 for the Xbox, regular Xbox. The next game up is Siphon Filter, and it's a not first person shooter, it's a third person action shooter. And it's a great game. You have missions and stuff. It's kind of like, I wouldn't compare it to Metal Gear Solid, but it's kind of like a wannabe Gears of War, or it's kind of like Gears of War, except you can't hide behind cover, unless you can. I don't remember correctly, but it's got a lot of weapons, a lot of stealth involved, like Metal Gear. And there was a couple more Siphon Filters that came out. I believe the last one that came out was for the PSP, and it's also a great game. The next game that I'm talking about here, this is 13th game, is Ape Escape. In Ape Escape, you have to catch the apes that have escaped, and from what I remember, you get an assortment of different weapons and gadgets to try to catch the apes. And I don't remember exactly why they escaped, but I remember the game was very fun, and you had to catch them, and you had different obstacles in your way, and the apes will be jumping ape shit all over the place, and you'd be trying to get them, and they just got all over the place. I haven't played it in a long time, and it's not in the PlayStation Store, and I would like to purchase it eventually, but I don't have the option. Another one that you guys probably agree with me is Metal Gear Solid, the first one. You know, I'm a big Metal Gear fan, but I never played Metal Gear Solid, the original. I beat Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. I beat Metal Gear Solid for the one for the GameCube that was like totally different from Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. I believe I never beat Snake Eater, but I got towards the end, so I might be picking that up eventually for the 3DS, and because it's for the 3DS. I might use it without the 3D, because the 3D makes it, on that game, because I played the demo, makes it kind of crappy, unless that was just a demo. But I never played Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation 3. I might pick that up, since it's only like, you can find it for 10-15 bucks. So Metal Gear Solid, of course, you guys know, you sneak around, you kill, you hide bodies, you fight bosses. There was even a boss battle where you had to disconnect the controller in this game, or I believe it's a PlayStation 2 one, I don't know, against Psycho Mantis or something like that. I've heard of it. I believe is this on this one. But it's a great game. You guys can't go wrong. Another game that I've been playing, that I stopped playing, that I put many hours into, I believe I put about 10, is Alundra. I never heard of it, never played it, but it's a classic, obviously, PlayStation 1 classic, and it's up on the PlayStation Store, and I bought it for $5.99, and it's I wouldn't say an RPG, it's more like a Zelda type, lunar moon type game, and it is difficult as hell. So I took a break from that game, and I'm not touching it until I feel confident that I can take it on, because some of the boss battles, mainly the puzzles, are what kick your ass in this game. And if you're going to put $5.99 on this game, you better think twice, because some of these puzzles are so hard that it makes you want to quit. The next game up is Crash Bandicoot Trilogy, and all these games are good. Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and Crash Bandicoot Team Racing. And you can't go wrong with these games. And what can I say? It's Crash Bandicoot. Tag team racing is almost like Mario Kart, and you can't go wrong. Thanks for watching, for listening, guys. I really enjoyed having you guys listen to my countdown.